What's up? What's up? What's up? How y'all doing? Let me take this off of here. Okay. There we go. Let's talk about goals and what's been going on and all the good things. Like, this angle is not flattering. Okay, that's better. Because it was just it was giving a weird angle. I'm in here with my laptop and Bruno. Bruno is chilling. He is 6 months now, y'all, and I can just leave him over here. Say hey, Bruno. Say hey. There he is. He moved the tail. Say hi. I'm chilling on my bed in your room. Can y'all see him? I don't know. Did I do it right? Can y'all see Bruno? Bruno. Hey, buddy. Okay. Hopefully y'all can see him, because... Hey, how are you, Quana? He be chilling in here. The other dog, he in the crate, because he bad. And he's young, so he don't know how to just sit down and sit still. He got to get into everything. Hold on, let me get on the right thing so I can see the comments. But I was a little bit late starting because I was helping my mother-in-law set up her transfers because we booked our Jamaica resort this week. Figure it out. And so basically it took 48 hours for them to basically process our payment, and the resort came with free airport transfers, so she wanted me to set hers up. And she had asked me about it earlier, but I wasn't home yet, so I did it right before I came on here for her. So I know I'm going to be talking about goals, but one of my goals was to get my Jamaica travel finalized. And I'm here to say it is officially finalized because we know what resort we're staying at, and we booked it. I'm good. I've been working on my goals and trying to get into a steady routine. Me too. I feel like I'm getting into the swing of my fitness journey again. I did work out 3 days this week. I went to the gym twice so far. And then today I walked for an hour. I went and got my nails painted and I got my brows waxed. And then I decided to walk home because we've been having car issues, and Dez and Saya had the car at the park, and I didn't want to bother them because my appointment finished early because I didn't get a pedicure. And so I just walked, and it was so relaxing to walk because it wasn't too hot. It wasn't cold. It wasn't windy. I had on the wrong type of shoes because I had on slides, and I probably shouldn't have did that. But it was just really nice to just walk and reflect and enjoy peace and walk. So I might go do a class tomorrow night. We'll see. But water intake goal, I'm still not reaching it. I don't know what to do with my fitness journey because I feel like I'll lose 4 pounds, gain 5 pounds, lose 4 pounds, lose 4 pounds, gain 5 pounds. It's like I'm trying to figure out what I need to do differently. I am going shopping tomorrow, and I'm starting to cut back on some things because some of our expenses went up. So I'm going to try to like go and do this diet I saw. It's not really a diet, but it's like a grocery shopping tip where they call it the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And so you do I think it was 5 vegetables, 4 fruits, 3 meats, 2 carbs, and 1 sweet treat. So I was thinking about trying that for my grocery list and doing my meal prep based on that. But my birthday is less than a month away, and I'm just like, I fell off track somewhere along the way because I was doing really good in January and February. And now I feel like I kind of set myself back. I'm not exactly where I was when January started, but like, I gained some of the weight I lost. So I'm just trying to really reset myself. So now I'm kind of trying to see what can I do to focus and kind of get it together over the next 6 to 8 weeks, because my trip is at the end of May. So it's like if I really get it together, I can see some sort of progress. I even used ChatGPT and said, create me a diet plan with these foods, and this is my weight, and this is my height, and this is, how old I am. And it gave me some suggestions. So I'm gonna look over that diet plan and see. Church, we are planning on going on Sunday. I'll be honest and say I did not stream church on Sunday this week. I did watch the replays earlier today as I was working. So that was nice, but I got to get back into the swing of doing it on Sundays. And I think Bruno graduated from, Bruno graduated from intermediate training, and that was every Sunday at 2. So now that he's done with that, that's going to free up some of my Sundays, and I think that will help me. Hey, Bella Music. I think that'll help me be more consistent with, my church routine. And I'm trying to think. I'm looking at what else I wrote on this goals list. So basically, hold on. Let me go this way because that was not a good angle. So scheduling my self-care and time with friends, I have met that goal because I went out to eat with two of my best friends earlier this month, and I had self-care. Like I just told y'all, I went and got my eyebrows waxed, and I went and got my nails done. Um, so I've been scheduling my self-care and having my me time. So I'm doing well with that goal. Finalized all Jamaica travel and birthday plans. I did finalize Jamaica this week. Birthday plans, I'm still trying to figure out. Now, my mother-in-law also just told me she was going to babysit the weekend of Mother's Day, that Saturday night. So I'll be honest and say I have been looking at doing a 24 hours trip with Des. But we took so long to plan it that some of the flights that I was looking at for coming back are gone. And the whole point of me doing it was to try to find an affordable flight somewhere fun and go on 24 hours. So basically, like after Saya's baseball game that Saturday, leave and come back like Sunday morning, Sunday early afternoon. So I could still spend some of Mother's Days with Josiah, but it would be like a birthday gift to myself to be able to have a little vacation. I won't even call it vacation because it's short. Did my son eat the Turbo's chips? He hasn't had those in a while, but he did eat them on my channel. So yeah, I'm trying to figure out what I want to do. But there was one destination that I had been wanting to go to that was on my bucket list, and there was a Delta flight for less than 150. We went to Nashville for spring break, and Nashville was a vibe. I would love to go back there too. Same itinerary, same hotel, just different restaurants. But it would be more fun to go as adults because there's a lot to do on Broadway Street. And then the beach, that's always a vibe. And I haven't been to the beach and just been able to enjoy the beach in a while. So I'm just trying to figure it out. If I don't end up traveling, I think I just want to do like a birthday dinner and a self-care day on my actual birthday because I am off on my birthday. So I kind of envision going and get like a massage, a facial, relaxing. But I also am aware that like Josiah is likely going to be having tournament for baseball just like last year. So I don't really want to do too much. But I just want to have a relaxing self-care day. My favorite color is the color on my nails. It's like a lavender color. I told y'all drinking water. Haven't been doing really good with drinking water. And not that I'm not drinking water, but I'm not drinking and reaching my water goal, which was 6 bottles a day. I've been really doing more like 3 or 4 bottles a day. And the gym, working out. The first week of April, I didn't hit it, but this week and last week, I did hit it. So like I said, I am kind of back in the swing of working out. I'm trying to challenge myself to be more consistent with working out and honestly go above and beyond, whether it's walking, like I said today, I walked for an hour. Plus, I walked my dogs today too. But intentional walking, taking classes, You know, whether it's Zumba, whether it's cycle class, whether it is a hit class, whether it's a YouTube video. When I was on vacation, the last day I went and did a solo workout in the gym at the hotel, and I did the elliptical for 30 minutes, and then I did a strength training workout on my own. Aw, purple is a good color. And so, you know, I'm just trying to, you know, find ways to get active because I really do want to see some progress this year with the weight loss and the fitness journey. And honestly, I just feel really good when I work out. Like when I'm done, I feel like I can accomplish anything. And then streaming church on Sundays, reading praying daily. I've been slipping with praying daily too. And then the other one was about reading the Bible or doing Bible study, 10 minutes a week. Have not been reaching that goal. So talking to y'all and hearing me say that out loud is just giving me some reminders of what I need to work on and what I need to fit in. Honestly, listening to church sermons is something I can do, like kind of like podcasting. I can listen to it while I work. So there's really no reason not to get that part done. But I think where I can kind of fix my behaviors is just with the prayer. And I won't say I stopped praying completely. I didn't stop praying completely, but I will say I wasn't as consistent and intentional about praying. I actually did pray before I went live though. Like I took a shower before I ate dinner. I took a shower and I prayed. I prayed for several people. My family, my friends. I have a couple of friends that are going through some things personally right now with losses. And there's just some people I know they're going through different battles. So I just prayed specific prayers over the people in my life. And that felt really good. But I'm trying to be more consistent with including prayer. So like maybe praying in the morning before I get the day started, praying over my family, praying over Saya, praying over myself and things like that. Myself meaning like dealing with things that I may struggle with, like being anxious, being nervous, being frustrated, like asking God to kind of take the way. I listened to 2 sermons from Daryl Bronner, and one of them was about last words, the things that we want to be remembered for and remembered by, who we want to be remembered by, and what we want to be remembered for. And then the other message was about alignment. I need to listen to the message about alignment again because I was multitasking and I kind of missed some of the key points. But it was really talking, both sermons were kind of talking about similar things in that with the last words, it's like, what are you doing to impact the legacy you want to leave behind, right? What do you want to be known for? And what is your purpose and what God has planned for you? And how are you getting there? And then with the alignment, it's really just about, you know, making sure that you are ordering your steps in the way that God intends for your life, but also for the life you're saying you want to live. You know, he gave the example of diet and exercise, and it's like you're saying you want to lose 50 pounds, but are you aligning your habits with wanting to lose 50 pounds? Or are you still kind of doing whatever you want to do? And that really spoke to me because I have been struggling with weight loss, but I have to be honest and say I have not been as consistent as I should be with diet and exercise. And even with the drinking and stuff, I think what kind of set me back, if I want to be realistic, is when I started breaking my rule about 1 drinking day a week and, you know, drinking 2 days a week. And then next thing you know, like I'm not making any progress, but I still am working out, but I'm not getting the same results that I had previously. So I say that to say, you know, align and work towards what you want. And it's not always going to be easy. Hi, Jamar. Yes, I only have 1 son and I have 2 dogs now. You could catch a red eye somewhere with dads in another state that's close and just eat at a new restaurant for your birthday and lay up in a nice hotel. That's exactly what I wanted to do. So, like, New Orleans was where I was thinking of doing that. And there was a flight on Delta for $127. Lissa, hey, Lissa. Lissa sent me a recommendation for a hotel. But then I also found another hotel that was really highly reviewed and it's kind of relatively new. Right on Canal Street in the French Quarter area. And they have a romance package where they put like the champagne and the roses on your bed for you and flowers. And that's like a vibe I've been wanting for a long time. So I was like, that sounds romantic. Like, that'd be nice. And there's just like stuff everywhere on that strip. So I'm going to look again because there is, well, the last time I checked, there was a red eye coming back. But the red eye going, the flights going were the right price, the $127. If we would have went ahead and booked, there was a flight coming back at 9:50 in the morning, which will get us back to Atlanta right at noon on Mother's Day. I was like, that's perfect because there's no one other than, hey, D, how are you? There's no one other than my dad or my husband's mom that I would want Josiah to be with instead of me on Mother's Day. But now the only flights they have left in that price range when I was looking, I think 2 days ago, was like a 5 a.m. flight. And I was like telling Daz at that point, we might as well just go and hit Bourbon Street and walk around and then go back to the airport because it's kind of silly to sit. You know, I mean, we could get the room just to lay our head, but we're going to have to get up at like 3 to get back to the airport if we do the red eye, if you want to do it for the 127. Like, yeah, we could probably pay 220 or whatever the next price is, but the whole point was me wanting to do the cheap flight. Another cheap flight I found was Tampa, Florida. They were 117. But again, the cheapest flight coming back was like, I'm sorry. Yeah, the only flight coming back was another 5 a.m. flight. And it's like, I don't know who wants to wake up at 3 a.m. after having a good time. But I'm not that girl. Like, I want to sleep in a little bit. And then the third location was going back to Nashville. Nashville was like 150. When me and my family just went, we only paid like 139 each on Southwest round trip. So, you know, Nashville is a vibe though. And the hotel I like staying at, they have a shuttle. They take you everywhere in a 4-mile radius. It takes you to downtown. You can go watch a baseball game. It's so much food options. I'm good, D. I was just checking in and telling y'all like how my goals. Do you have a friend? How many? I have a handful of friends. I have YouTube friends. Y'all, you see, I got about 20,000 people on here. And I, you know, my YouTube regulars who come in and watch all the time. They're my friends. And then personally, and like that I see all the time, I would say I have at least 10 friends. And I'm probably missing some people. But yeah, I have some friends. But yeah, so I'm just trying to figure it out. Like, let me go in incognito. Because you know these phones be tracking us. So as soon as I tell y'all what my plan is, these flights probably going to go up. But those are the destinations I was thinking. Because like I said, it's just a 24-hour trip. So less than 24-hour trip. But I saw somebody do it on Instagram. Her and her husband went on a quick little trip. And they had a date, and it was just nice. And I was just like, that's what I'm talking about. So it looks like they still got one for 127 going to NOLA. Y'all gonna encourage me, and I'm gonna end up booking the flight, and we're gonna end up going. So yeah, all the flights on that day, including the red eyes, are 127. So we was talking about either doing that 352 or that 659. I want to kind of do 352 because I'd rather arrive to New Orleans while the sun is out versus when the sun is starting to go down. But I guess it wouldn't be going down at 6. You know, it probably wouldn't get dark until 8 o'clock because it didn't get dark here today until about 8:15. So I guess 6 isn't that bad. But we'd be getting there and it would literally be time to get dinner. Oh, thank you. So let me ask y'all for y'all opinion. Do you think I should do pick the flight, whether it's the 3 o'clock or the 6 o'clock, and then leave out at 5:25 a.m. and get back to Atlanta at 7:54 in the morning to get the 127 price? Or do you think I should look for another destination? Because the whole goal was to go somewhere that was less than $200 a flight. CJ, I'm married. I need your help. My ops are closing in on me. Are you trolling? Thank you, Quana. But yeah, for those of y'all who are seriously engaged with the conversation, what do you think I should do? Because 5 a.m. is early. Like, that's a really early flight. Now, Southwest is currently showing wanna getaways for $49. So let me just look and see how much it is to go on Southwest. Because listen, Southwest had a great experience for us last week. I had no complaints at all. Of course, coming back, we were all in middle seats. But other than that, I didn't have no complaints. He just chewing his ball up over there. What Legend doing in the crate? See, Legend can't stay out of trouble.
No, he pooped on the floor.
What? Again? Legend is the can't get right dog. Like, I'm this close to put him up for adoption. Meanwhile, you got Bruno over there. He just be in his own world. Just y'all see him chewing the ball. Say hey, Bruno. Bruno. Say hey. He just be. I hope y'all can see. He just be sitting there and minding his business and staying out of trouble. The little one, he's bad. We trying to work through that with him. Oh my gosh. They got all these. There are no more low fare flights coming back on Sunday. The best option would be this 740 flight, but then you have to do a plane change. Where is BNA? What airport is that? BNA airport.
I think that's Maryland.
Why do we have to No, actually, baby, it's Nashville.
Oh.
We could get donuts. So that would be 74 and 64, which would be the price we were looking at before. We could wake up a little bit earlier. It'd be 136. I don't know. I still like the 127 on Delta, to be honest. I meant per person. Girl, that's my fave. Where have you been? You could do NOLA, North Carolina, Tennessee, South Carolina, or Virginia. We planning a trip. Where are we going? I'm trying to do a 24-hour trip for my birthday, Brandy. And so this is the question I was asking y'all. My question is, so there's a trip to New Orleans, my birthday weekend, Mother's Day weekend. Have a babysitter, got a dog sitter, all that out the way. If it was y'all, would y'all go for $127 on Delta from Atlanta to New Orleans? But you can fly anytime that you want on that day going, but the day coming back, you gotta fly back out at like 5:30 in the morning. Would you do it? Or would you pick a different location that you could fly home a little bit later in the morning? I am not a morning person. So for me, these flights coming back at 5:30, that's going to be hard for me. I was telling Des I might as well just stay up all night and go to the airport at 3 and take a little cat nap at the gate. Because at this point, it's going to be hard to get me up after I go back down. Especially if we drink and stuff. But that's for the 127 price. Which is really, really good. Especially for Delta. I'd rather arrive early and leave late when it comes to flights. Arrive early and leave late. And that's the other thing. Josiah has a baseball game that morning. So the earliest I'd be able to leave out would be like 3 p.m. And that's because we don't want to miss his game. And there's coaches that y'all know all that. Y'all regulars know the tea. So I mean, the only other thing I could really do is, like, see if there's another airline flying back that has a better flight time. Like, I think I had checked, and Frontier had it for $50. Let me see if Frontier Airlines still have it for $50. Because we could fly, if we just doing 24 hours, we could fly with a personal bag, which is free. And then we could fly Delta going, and we could fly, what's the other airline called, y'all? Fly Delta going and fly Frontier going back. If it's to enjoy now without my kid, heck yeah, check JetBlue. Oh yeah, let me check JetBlue. I forgot about them. That's what I'm leaning towards it, because I'm like 127, like that's really good. But 5 a.m., I'm just like, girl. And you asked me how I've been doing. I've been doing pretty good. I've had my ups and downs in the month. I ain't gonna hold you, but it's been pretty good recently. So I'm grateful for it. I hope it stays that way. We could do a night in New York. That might be fun. New York is 104 on JetBlue. I'm looking. Hold on. I'm preferably trying to find something that don't have a layover. I don't want to be just sitting around. What you eating? You done destroyed the ball, Bruno. I was just bragging about you. Now you over there doing puppy stuff. He like, but I'm quiet. Hey, Nichelle, how you doing? All right, so let me entertain myself with New York. I'm just curious. That's not food. That ball, that's not food, Bruno. He done ripped all the wrapping off the ball. No flights. Okay, well, what about Orlando? Why is it saying no flights found this month? Let me go back. Book flight. Oh, I didn't put a date. Maybe that's why. Are you going to get drinks? It'll be tough. I've done the 5:30 coming back and was at the airport at 3. A few grenades will have you out. Yeah, I plan on drinking. I ain't even gonna lie. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna want to drink. And that's what I was saying. Like, I don't feel like I could have did the 9:50 flight. We should have went ahead and booked it. That's really what I should have did. But I didn't do that. And now the only flight left for that same price is a 5:30 in the morning flight. So I just feel like I done missed the flight because drunk Yosha is sleepy. She ain't gonna want to get up. Now, if we go ahead and Uber from the Canal Street to the airport at 3 a.m., then I won't miss the flight. Girl, to stay on 42nd Street to eat all the food, you'd be pissed because you wouldn't be able to eat a lot of the food places. Okay. See, and that's the other thing. Like, when I do New York, Chicago, like, I really want a true weekend trip. I don't want a 24-hour trip. 24-hour trip destinations for me, like, I envision Chattanooga, Nashville, Orlando, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Tampa, Alabama, anywhere where it's like, even if I wanted to drive, I could get there in under 6 hours, but I'm gonna get on the flight because the flight is less than 2 hours. That's what I feel for 24-hour trips. When I get into places like New York, Chicago, California, like, I want a good 2 to 3 full days so I can really have time to explore. Charlotte would be good. I don't want to drive anywhere though. So like, we also had discussed like getting a hotel in Atlanta as well and just having like a really nice dinner somewhere because we have the sitter. It'll be a little bit easier to maximize our time, you know. Let's say Josiah goes with my mother-in-law after the game at like 10 a.m. and then I don't have to pick him up until 1 or 2 o'clock on Mother's Day. Like, we could literally use a full 24 hours in Atlanta without it being 2 or 3 hours of it being in the airport. Whereas if we fly somewhere, it's really going to be challenging to do that. Charlotte, I've wanted to go for the food scene, but I feel like, again, that would be one where I need to drive and explore for more than just a day. Honestly, I feel comfortable doing Nashville only because this would then be my 4th time going to Nashville. Like, Nashville for me is becoming like Orlando. I've been there so many times that I don't have to be there for a long time. I kind of know what to do and where to go, and I feel comfortable. New Orleans, honestly, I want to be able to. It's hard. Like, if we got there while the sun was out, we could enjoy the food and explore, but I just feel like it'd end up being a tease because I need to come back. All right, so looking at Sunday, it looked like they have a flight coming back at 4 o'clock, but that's a little bit late. Like, I don't want to come back at 4. I want to come back early, but just not at 5 in the morning. So yeah, moral of the story, which I feel like I've already shared this lesson. Don't, if you see a good flight, just book it. I have a question. My little sister wants braids and she is white. Is it okay? I don't see why not. If she want to put the braids in, just know that if she's not used to getting it, it might hurt her head. As long as she think it's okay, I'm not the one to tell her she can't wear braids. You welcome, Spice. Ooh, so Nashville is $95 on Southwest. And they have a 10 a.m. coming back. See, that's what I'm talking about. I want it to be like that. Like 10 a.m. coming back. I'm not at the airport all day. I can go out and have a good time drinking. You got your nose pierced? Oh my gosh. When did you get your nose pierced? I'm late. I'm finna see how much Nashville is, y'all. I want to go somewhere where I don't have to fly back at 5 a.m. I really wanted to do New Orleans, though. So it look like Nashville is still 153, which is good on Delta. And they still have some good flight times left. What time can I fly back, though? See, all the flights in the morning are gone when it comes to basic. It's like they want me to pay a lot. And they had this 5:15 a.m. flight for the cheap price. All the other flights are 196. 196 is under 200 though, so it's better than Bruno. What are you doing? What you eating? Girl, why are you not a travel agent yet? I need to be one. I helped set up our trip to Jamaica, and I was telling my mother-in-law, because she's going with us, which is also going to be like a little vacation, because she's getting a room and we're getting a room and Saya's going. So Josiah going to be her roommate some nights, but she going to be in her own room some nights. So we'll have some alone time. I'm so grateful for that. But I say that to say, I was telling her, if I didn't have like a job in communications, my dream job would be to be a travel agent. I would love to help people plan their travel. When I was younger and I didn't have kids, I was always the friend setting up the girls' trips. My dog down here destroying his ball. Give me this. Give it to me. No. Look at this. This was a Nerf ball. This what he been over here doing quietly. She like, you want it back, don't you? You weren't supposed to destroy it, Bruno. Are you eating it? Look at this. That's not what you were supposed to do. He said, but I'm being quiet. They can't even tell I'm in here. But yeah. Yeah, I gotta look at JetBlue to New York City. Are they doing construction at JFK? He's having fun. He having the time of his life. He loved being in here. Bruno is my soulmate, okay? He is like my twin, my shadow. He want to do everything I'm doing. Legend, that's Josiah's twin, okay? He is mischievous, and he be getting into everything, but he's a sweetie. Like, I remember when I went to pick them up, because when we went to Nashville, we left them for boarding. And when I went to pick him up, when he saw me, Legend ran right to me. He was excited to see me, but he liked Josiah better than all of us. So, yeah. I don't know. I'm just not feeling these 5 a.m. flights, y'all. It's making my feelings hurt because I don't want to get up that early. It's so early. And then they done caught on and they done started making the flights cost more when you do a one-way. So there's that. I feel like I'm getting closer to the date, and I think that's probably why, excuse me, that's probably why it's going up. But I don't know. I'm kind of like at a cross between, girl, YOLO, like you only live once, have a good time, just go do it. You know, drink some coffee or something. I don't like coffee, but I'll drink some if I need to stay awake for this purpose. So I don't want to get stuck in New Orleans. But I don't know. And then Tampa was $117. And I was like, if we go to Tampa, we could go at up to Clearwater Beach for a day. That would be a vibe. Honestly, I don't know. All of these things sound good, but I just know it's going to be difficult. If there's any type of late night activities going on, whether it's drinking or just doing things that married grown people do, it's going to be difficult to get up super early in the morning for me. And I agree when Brandy says she'll do an early flight going, but don't want to do an early flight coming back. I'm the same way. Like for our Jamaica trip, our flight coming, and this is not even early because Josiah's coming and he ain't a morning person either. So I didn't want to set us up for failure because, at the Atlanta airport, you want to get to the airport, I would say 3 to 3.5 hours early when it comes to international flights. And so for our Jamaica trip, I was making sure Bruno wasn't choking. The flight leaves at like 11:30 or something like that. So that means we'd have to get to the airport around 8. I did that because I'm like, this trip is right after school lets out. We're already on this schedule. We're waking up around 6:30ish anyway, or 6 o'clock really. So us having to get up and get to the airport by 8 means we'd have to get up at the house around 7 at the latest, 7:15, and drive down and all of that. So I did 11 because I didn't want us to have to get up at like 5. Like the times that I went to Dominican Republic and Cancun, like we had to get up really early and get to the airport at like 5:30 to catch those 8 a.m. flights. And I didn't want to have to do that with Josiah. Whereas with the flights coming back home, I think I picked like a 2:30 because I like to use my last day of the trip as an extra day to explore and do stuff on the resort. I don't care if I just go to the beach that morning and have breakfast and lunch before I leave. Like I want to get my money worth. So yeah, if it's up to me and I'm not trying to be frugal and save money and all of that, I typically will try to do my flight where I can get there early enough for check-in. So most places you check in at 3 p.m. or 4 p.m. local time. So I typically try to fly somewhere between noon and 2 o'clock because by the time you land, get your bags, get out the airport, get your ride, you're usually arriving right at check-in time. I don't really like getting there super early, but I do know when you go out the country, all inclusives typically will let you give your bags to the concierge people. The bellboys will get it to your room and you can go ahead and start using amenities as soon as you get there, even if it's early. But sometimes in the States, when I've gotten somewhere too early, like I remember when Des and I got married, we did a cruise and we ported in Orlando and we had to kind of wait for an hour for a room to be ready. They didn't have nothing ready because we got there really early. It was like before 12 o'clock because our flight was super early on Southwest. So I say that to say, because of that, I typically don't try to get there before check-in unless it's just the best deal. Which when I did the Jamaica trips, they were main cabin flights on Delta and they were $460 each for me, Des, and Saya. And that's really a good price for Jamaica, especially on Delta. Last year, not last year, but the last time we went to Jamaica, those flights were like $900 each. And we had to do Delta because we were flying with Desmond's aunt who only flies Delta. So we were trying to be together with her. So yeah. For last minute flights, sometimes I get one with Delta and one with Southwest. Yeah, I'm willing to do that too, honestly. Okay. So the Tampa, Florida one, they have if I were to pick a flight that I wanted, they have it. The best time is 184 round trip, and it leaves at 9:54, and we'll get back to Atlanta at 11:28, which is perfect. But the cheapest flight is 117, and again, it's that 5:20 a.m. flight, getting us back to Atlanta at 6:48 a.m. I will say this: if I do any of those 5 a.m. flights going back, I'm just gonna go to the house and take a nap before I go get Josiah. So honestly, my gut is saying do New Orleans because I found this hotel that has this romance package and it's a really nice, it's a residence inn, but it's nice. Like I did research, I looked it up on YouTube and somebody, it was like a travel agent. She did a whole room tour of this property. It had a really nice view and it's set up like an apartment, which I love hotels that are set up like an apartment because they have like a full refrigerator, a microwave. It has a blender. It has things to make your own food. We're not going to be making your own food, but when I think of like New Orleans and wanting to try food on Bourbon Street, if I'm walking around and I want to bring it back and be able to warm it up, like those type of rooms are like perfect for that. But then, like I mentioned, Residence Inn is a Marriott property, and they have this romance package, so they can set the room for us when we get there. It'll have like the drinks and the chocolates and the flowers, and like it's, I don't know, I just feel like that's special. So it would serve the purpose of what I wanted to do and get out of the trip in 24 hours. But if not, I guess I can create that here and go somewhere downtown, but I don't know, y'all. I just feel like I'm not living enough. Like, I want to travel and get out more, and I want to do more things. Like, I feel like this is the time before I become a mama too. This is the time to be trying to do more things and like live and document it. So yeah, JetBlue does have cheaper flights. I remember when we went on our last cruise, we used JetBlue because they had the best flight price. It was really good. It's just what I don't like about JetBlue. It's kind of the same thing that I have issue with American. Sometimes you find better prices, but a lot of their flights lay over coming from Atlanta. I wish that JetBlue had more flights that are nonstop coming from Atlanta. But I understand, like, Delta is headquartered in Atlanta. We have the most flights on Delta. And so all the other airlines seem to have less nonstop flights. Southwest has quite a bit of nonstop flights for common destinations like Florida, Nashville, New York, um, and not all of Florida, but like Orlando, you usually can get a nonstop without a layover. Fort Lauderdale, sometimes you can get a nonstop without a layover. Same with Frontier, same with JetBlue. I flew into Fort Lauderdale from JetBlue, no layover. But it just depends on the dates you're looking at as well. And so Delta knows that, and I think that allows them to kind of have a monopoly over the pricing. Sometimes, like when Delta lowers their price, I notice it is usually when Southwest is offering sales. And I know they don't admit that they're competing with anybody, but they clearly compete with the other top airlines when they have sales because they be lowering their prices too. Like Southwest has been advertising this $49 sale for a few weeks now, and I think it ends tonight. Today's the 17th. It ends tonight, so I bet a lot of the flights I've been looking at are going to go up tomorrow because the Southwest sale is going to end. A lot of the places I was looking at have comparable flights on Southwest that are within the same price range. So Delta is trying to make theirs a little bit lower, but they might give you a catch that the flights are not good. What I would say is I'm kicking myself because if I would have went ahead and booked it on Saturday or Sunday of last week, I could have had any of the flights that I wanted on that Saturday. So I probably would have picked like the 350 flight. And then coming back home Sunday, I could have flew back around 10 a.m. I should have just went ahead and did it, but I was second guessing it. And I was like, I don't know. And it was still some pieces of the puzzle as far as babysitting and getting the dogs taken care of if we were to go that wasn't sure of. I try not to like make plans and then ask for forgiveness later because I never want to assume that somebody is going to watch Saya for me or, watch the dogs for me just because I asked. Like, I like them to make sure that they've said, yeah, I got you before I just make plans like, hey, we're doing this. Can you babysit? Because, you might get disappointed and you don't spend money and then you can't get your money back. So, yeah. I think it's because they only go north nonstop. Yeah, I noticed that. Amtrak is also a round trip New Orleans trip, like 5 to 6 days. You could book with a hotel. Okay. I don't know. But then part of me is like, if you don't like the flight time, then don't book that flight time and just pick something that's a little bit later and pay more. But I don't know. It's kind of like when I was going to go to Puerto Rico and we didn't get a really good price and I ended up not wanting to go at all. Part of me is like when I see something really cheap and then it goes up really high, it makes me not want to buy it anymore. Because I don't know. I just feel like I'm being scammed because I just saw it for a lower price. So it's like, why do I want to pay extra for something that was just $120? Like, Oh, speaking of that, the Millennial Tour. The last time I went live, I told y'all I wasn't sure if I was going to the Millennial Tour. I think I posted it on my community tab, but basically I only ended up going to the concert because I was having a really, really rough week, and I wanted to do something fun for myself. And I had looked at the concert the day of, and it had went down tremendously. And so there was floor seats available, and they was as cheap as they were when we initially started talking about the trip. And so I had texted my best friend, not the one who had got our tickets, but the other one who kind of also didn't get tickets, to check and see if she was free and if she still wanted to go. And she was like, yeah, I didn't get my ticket because it had went up too high. So when the tickets had went down, she was down to go. We both got our tickets and last minute decided to go. And then I ended up meeting up with the girl who had bought a ticket with her sister. So it was just so fun. It was like, okay, but it was still me standing on what I had said. Like, I had a budget in mind for this. It's like, once something exceeds my budget and I know that it's not worth that price, I'm not going to pay it. So that's how I feel about these flights. It's not that I can't afford to pay the $220 or the $250, but to me, I feel like I'm being cheated if I just saw that this flight was $120 to pay $220 for the same flight that was, $100 less the day before. And I know people say all the time, yesterday's price is not today's price. And that's why when you see a blessing like that, you got to hop on and you can't hesitate. But it's also like, sometimes you just have to be patient because stuff will go down. Now, Delta ain't going to go down. Like, you can test it out right now. You can look for a flight and you're going to see that a flight for something that's tomorrow is not cheaper than it would have been like 3 or 4 weeks ago. Flights with them, you got to kind of get them in advance. But I guess it's just learning that if you do come across something that's like a really good deal, don't be afraid to book it. Because honestly, the worst thing that can happen is you decide you don't want to go anymore. And if that happens, you can get usually you can get some sort of a refund or flight credit. Now, when you do basic, which is what these tickets are, you kind of need to know that you're going because they don't do refunds after 24 hours. Which, honestly, I should have just booked it and, thought about it for 24 hours. And if I didn't want to do it, I could have been like, okay, I'm not doing it, and got a refund. Now I'm on here looking at Miami. Miami ain't got no good flight times left. Like, who trying to fly out at 7 a.m.? I can't fly out at 7 a.m. that day anyway. So I'm just like, girl. I don't know. I'm like, $100 flight me, please. Because a lot of the time these flights be $200 and $300. And I guess that's also my point. It's really cool to see a flight not that expensive because nowadays nothing is cheap anymore. And a lot of times it don't even be worth it. Like, that Nashville flight is literally less than an hour long. So it's just, I honestly don't feel like a Nashville flight from Atlanta should ever exceed $150 just because it's so short. Let me check Fort Lauderdale. I've flown into Fort Lauderdale before to go to Miami. It's not that far. It's probably like a 40-minute drive. And my friend Kira is in that area too. Ooh, Fort Lauderdale is only $171 instead of $211. And it's interesting because Fort Lauderdale is almost always cheaper than Miami when I check. Okay, we getting somewhere. Flights coming back from Fort Lauderdale, the earliest or the cheapest they have that would be still getting me home before 12 is a 740. 740 I can do. I can do 740 a little bit better than at 5 a.m. But like 5 a.m., that's crazy. Let me see if they have it for Southwest. I'm just curious. They do not have any nonstop flights, which is crazy to me. I'm like, why do you need a layover to go to Florida? Like, somebody tell me. Someone explain. You know, another thing that I can do that I did the other day is do flights.google.com and just look for the dates I'm interested in and just try to see what's available. I don't know if y'all do that sometimes, but you can look, you know, flights.google.com, type in your state, and then type in the date that you want to do it. And then it will just show you a map of everything that's available and pricing. It pulls all the pricing from the airlines, from Spirit all the way to Delta. So, Los Angeles went up a little bit. But, like, right now on the map for the dates I'm interested in, I'm seeing Denver is $99. New Orleans is $101. Miami is $98. How is New Orleans a 101? Oh, on Spirit. I forgot about Spirit. How much is it to go back? Oh, okay. So Spirit wants you to do it round trip. And see, when you separate it, it goes up. I'm not doing that. All right. I got excited. It was a scam. It's not really a scam, guys, but it's not as cheap. Now, Chicago's only $81. That's doable. On Frontier. What flight times do they have? Okay, that's not a sucky time. Like I said, everybody wants you to fly back at like dark 30 in the morning. That's crazy. I don't know. But yeah, I feel like sometimes I watch stuff on social media and it has me like envisioning these really cool things that I want to do. And then when I start trying to plan it for myself, I get overwhelmed because it's a lot. So it's just like, I feel like I could make it happen if I really wanted to. But I guess I just have to stop finding reasons why it doesn't work and just do it. I feel like I talked myself out of stuff. Honestly, this trip could have been booked and I should have just went ahead and did that. But I think I talked myself out of it. Like, well, what if this goes wrong and that goes wrong and this is this? And then, like, by doing all that, we didn't end up planning nothing. And my husband said if I don't plan anything, like, as far as me trying to plan a trip, he would plan it if I stay here. But I don't know. Is it bad that I don't really want that right now? Like, I kind of want to do the trip. I don't know. Maybe I should let him do what he want to do. Did you see the times I shared for New York City? It's cheaper than the ones for the other city. No, I didn't. Ow. Go back up. They have a 1:30 to 4 o'clock leave from JFK. What airline, Quana? Or what dates? Because I just checked JetBlue and I didn't see that. It said that there were no flights available. Bruno, sit down. Good boy. You have destroyed that ball. It's ruined. And I don't want you to try to take Legends either when you see him with it, because you've ruined your ball. That's it. No more ball. I see you New York for 104. 6:09 a.m. Oh, wait, you're right. I see a 4:45 p.m. getting us there at 7:14 p.m. Okay. All right, let's entertain that and say I want to go there. And I want to do blue basic with the carry-on bag, which is fine for me because I don't really like... I don't like having check bags. And if we just going for a day, I don't need a check bag anyway. And then... Is that a one-way? Okay, hold on. Oh, it's a one-way. That's why. Coming back. It's not that bad. They have a 1:30 that gets back at 4 o'clock. I'd have to ask my mother-in-law because I don't want to impose on her whole Mother's Day. But that comes up to $250 a person. That's actually not that bad. For the 24-hour trip. And I do like that I don't have to come back at like first thing in the morning because I really didn't care for that. But like I said, I want to get home by 1 o'clock Eastern time. Like that way, you know, if my mom wants to do her own thing for some of Mother's Day, Josiah's not with her the whole Sunday. Yeah, it's like all the flight times are either too early or too late. I shared that in the thread earlier. Yeah, I see it now. I saw it now, Quana. I did. It's the Saturday and coming back on Mother's Day. That's what I was looking at. Yep. Let me close all of these out. Only thing I don't like is some of these flight times, but it's not that bad. I wouldn't mind going back to Dallas. Dallas was also fun. Okay. They got a Dallas flight for $85. Wow. That's really cheap. $85 round trip. That's what I'm talking about right there. $85 round trip is good. Okay. They trying to get me to add stuff. Like, no. It's literally $84.96. That's what I'm talking about. I want a deal like that. Ugh. The flight coming back is early, but I can make it work for $85. And that's one of them ones where I would just bring a little small backpack. And it's a place in Dallas I've been wanting to try too. What am I doing? I'm curious now. I'm trying to see how much Dallas is on Delta for those days. I also wouldn't mind going to Houston. That's on my bucket list. It's been on my bucket list as well. Just curious. It might be expensive. Oh, y'all, Dallas is $131 on Delta. What? Let me find out. 131 is very close to 127. Of course, they only had this early flight coming back. That is what irks my nerves. I have to come back at 5:53 a.m. But I would be home at 9 a.m., which is pretty good. All right, so what I am gathering is that I should do my trip, but I'm going to have to get my butt up early if I want to come back. My options are Dallas for the 131 round trip on Delta. New Orleans for the 127 per person round trip, one Delta. Tampa for the 117 round trip on Delta. I feel like Dallas was a nice vibe. I enjoyed it. And I love the hotel I stayed at. I know exactly where I would stay. It's where I stayed when I went and visited my friend Brittany last time. It was cool. Both airports in Dallas are the same price, and they have itinerary all day that Saturday. What I like also about Dallas is that they have 4 o'clock flights, which with us needing to get to the airport before 2, but the game ending right at noon, I feel like a 4 o'clock flight gives us more flexibility to get to the airport than a 3 o'clock flight, which is what New Orleans had. New Orleans had flights all morning, and then they had like a 1:30 and a 3:30, and then after that 3:30, they didn't have another flight until like 6:50, and I didn't want to get there at like 8 o'clock because I feel like I'm already having to leave early in the morning, so I don't want to eat up all of my evening. So, yeah. I don't know, y'all. This was helpful. I know I'm doing most of the rambling and talking, but now I'm kind of like my gears are spinning in my head. I'm thinking of other big cities that I've been wanting to go to, and I'm kind of like, okay, let me just put something together real quick. Let me just see what I can come up with. Now Houston is higher. It's 209, and they don't have a flight that works. But Dallas, I could do. What you doing, Bruno? What you doing? Sit down. What? You done spat that ball up. You done? Come here. Come here, Bruno. Come here. You not in trouble. He looking like, yes, I am. Come here, buddy. Come on, Bruno. Hey, buddy. What you doing? Are you choking on something? Your nose feels hot. What are you doing? Come here. Come say hi to the people. He blending in with my blanket. Say hey. Can y'all see Bruno? Do you see the people? Bruno said, I'm not interested in the people. Oh, thank you. What you doing, Bruno? You know you done tore that ball up. Now you don't have nothing else to do. What you doing, Pucky? Now he's sitting up like, looking at me like this by the side of the bed. Pa? Oh, thank you. Oh, potty training is doing excellent with Bruno. He pretty much doesn't go in the house anymore. Oh, thank you. Girls only. He does really good with going outside. The only time he has an accident is like, I don't know. He's had one this month. But he's, for the most part, he sleeps through the night with no accidents. When we leave to go to work and he's in the crate, we come back, there's no accidents. He's kind of growing up on us. Whereas my little one, he's 3 months. He's like 12 weeks, 3 months. He's still like, we got lots of work to do with him. I shared that in the thread earlier. Okay, I saw that already. All right, I'm trying to find another option besides Dallas. I feel like I keep landing on places I've been before. Like I've been to Tampa before, I've been to Dallas before, I've been to Nashville before. I guess I'm just really trying to look for a place where I don't have to fly back at 5 a.m., but I don't know if that exists. You know? Let me see if it's cheap to go to Dallas. I'm curious. Can I go to Dallas on Southwest where I do like half and half? Oh my gosh. So they actually had a flight for $66 on the 10th. Wow. It's a 7 a.m. flight. I cannot go that early, but if I could, like that would be such a good like price. 66. That's really good. So yeah, the flights coming do not work for me. Hurts my feelings just a little bit, but I'll get over it. Let me see about the flights coming back. Oh wait, I'm looking at the wrong day. Let me go back. Let's go back. Let's switch, and we want to do Dallas. What are you chewing on? What are you chewing on? You better not be my charger. I'm watching you. Ding, ding, ding. All right, so Southwest has better flights coming back than Delta does, and they're all $66. They have an 8:20, they have a 1:55, they have a 6 o'clock, they have a 4:30, and they have a 10:40. The 10:40 is $116, but the 8:20 I could do 8:20. 8:20 is not 5:20. Okay, I can make that work. But most other airports, you can get there like 90 minutes early and make it through. But I probably would do the 10:40 just because I know myself. And it gets us to Atlanta before. Well, it gets us to Atlanta at 1:45. But the 8:20 I think would be the best one. Let me make sure Bruno not chewing on something that. Let me see. I know you got something in your mouth. Let me see it. Okay. Good boy. Such a good boy. Place. Place. Go. Go get on your bed. Come on. Go get on your bed. Place. Go. Over there. He's looking like, but I want to sit right here with you. He hard-headed, y'all. Now he looking at me. He not listening. Okay, so this might be one where I do Delta and Southwest separate because the 66 is actually really good. Let me see. I'm just curious how much a one-way would be. Y'all, it is $66. Let me find out. Okay, I think I found the solution. So, I can flip the camera. Yes. I can flip the camera. All right, so y'all see this? Look at these flights. So, and it's literally all day long. Right? So, I will probably pick this one, like one of these 4 o'clock options. And then let's go to this is Southwest. So Southwest actually has the same price for this 8 a.m. I can do an 8 a.m. because 8 a.m. in Dallas is 9:20 a.m. in Atlanta. They're an hour behind us. So that'll get us home at 11:20, $66. And that was my goal. My goal was to get home by noon, which this is noon all day because, you know, you sometimes they check your bags and stuff like that. And on the early flights, usually they don't be full. So I think this is the one I'm going to book because it's the cheapest. So I just have to make sure this is going into DAL. So I need to pick the one that says DAL. DAL. This is DAL, right? Yeah. See, one is DFW. That's where we flew into last time. This one's DAL, so it's a different flight. And we'll continue with basic. And so it's $130, which is $3 more than what I was paying for New Orleans. That's the type of deal I was looking for. Something like that. So that'd be $130. And then this, if I choose this one, which I need to, I already did 2 people. I would do this one. Want to get away. And we know we're just going for a day. So the 130 and the 130 would be $260. That's good. And then finding a hotel in Dallas, it shouldn't be hard. Now with that airport, I didn't fly into that airport last time. We flew into DFW, so I would need to do some research on what hotel. But the great thing about that is you can book a hotel the week of. Like, you don't have to book that right now. I'm going to talk to Des because he not asleep. And when I get off here, and I'm going to see what he says. I kind of text him from my MacBook like, hey, Dallas is cheap. But that's what I'm trying to say. I wanted to find me a good deal like that. I don't want to find no deal that's like, okay, basically, about a week ago, the price I just showed y'all was kind of like what going to New Orleans was going to be. So I say that to say I'm going to go to New Orleans, but I'm going to go when I find a good deal, like the one that we just seen on the computer. I don't want to go and have to pay like $250 to go to New Orleans. I just feel like these little short flights that you get on the plane and it's an hour and 10 minutes or 45 minutes, like that needs to be like $150. Am I parking at ATL? Is it convenient? Typically when I fly, I do not park at the airport. I don't really care for parking at the airport, but I'll also be honest with you and say I've never done it before. In college, I used to work at the airport, and we had shuttle service that we would use to get us to and from the airport. And so because of that, when I started traveling by plane, I started using shuttle services as well. So when you go down the street that gets to our airport, there's probably at least 10 different shuttle services nearby that you can use to park your car while you go. So I typically park my car at the parking spot in Atlanta, and it's covered, it has security, and it's just a really, yeah, I know, Bruno has destroyed the ball. It's just a really good, like, affordable place to safely park your car when you go. And then those shuttles come to the airport every 15 to 30 minutes. And so when you get back from your trip, they can take you back to your car. I find that parking at the airport, sometimes the airport parking is full and you never know when it's full. Sometimes people, literally we ran into somebody when we were there for Nashville, and they were saying how they got there and found out it was full and they had to use the parking spot, which is what we were using, because there was nowhere to park their car. But also it's just expensive. It's more expensive per day to park at the airport than it is at some of the shuttles. And like my employer gives a good discount for parking spot, but also like I have AAA, and parking spot also discounts for AAA users as well. So yeah, that was a long-winded answer, but I don't park at the Atlanta airport usually. I usually park at the shuttle service. It's just more convenient, more cost efficient. And if I don't want to park at all, then I would ask a relative or friend to drop me off at the airport, which I've done that before. I think we did that before when we went out of the town, and it wasn't terrible, but it's like, it's hard sometimes because your flight will say it landed. Let's say your flight is supposed to land at 5:30. Your flight could get there and be delayed, and then you got somebody waiting on you and they're having to circle around because we don't have designated free parking for people like some other airports do. Like when we were in Nashville, they actually had designated parking spots for folks to unload and load, and they don't rush you to get out. Like at Atlanta, they want you to get the stuff out and leave immediately, but in Nashville, their airport seemed to have designated spots on the side of the arrivals lobby where the Uber drivers and could like drop us off and take their time letting us get our things out the car. So I don't know because we have one of the busiest airports or what, but I like parking off site. And we have two airports. We have an international airport and we have a domestic airport. And I feel like the domestic airport is a little bit confusing to get in and out of. I am from Georgia. Where are you from, Portia? Y'all, it's 11:20. I'm finna get off of here. I just realized that I've been talking for over an hour. Y'all done helped me figure out where I might go for my birthday. Like, when I get off here, I'm finna tell Dez and see what he say. Because I feel like we ain't gonna find another miracle spot like this. Not for less than 150. Really, like, I wanted to spend in that, like, 120, 130 range. Because that's what I paid for Nashville. Illinois, look, Portia, before I go, drop me some recommendations because I am coming to Chi-Town one day. I heard that y'all have the best food. I don't know if you watch Kev on Stage, but I saw this Instagram video like a couple months ago where, excuse me, he interviewed his whole crew and asked them where they eat. Where is the best place to get food? And Kev on Stage said Chicago. Half the crew said Chicago had the best food. Everybody was saying Chicago had the best food, and second place was New Orleans had the best food. So ever since I seen that, I have made it my goal to get to Chicago and to get to New Orleans so I can go and eat. So honestly, it might have not been the right trip for me to consider a 24-hour trip for these locations because I want to go in the daytime so I have enough time to try the food, the grenades, the beignets. That's New Orleans. With Chicago, I don't know what I would try because they were saying everything there is good, but I don't know. I have some time off in June. I have some time off in July. I have not came up with anything, so I'm going to just be keeping my eye on these sites for these special promos that they be doing. And we'll just go from there. Like if they have these really good deals and they have something that makes sense for us, then I'm gonna just do that. But yeah, honestly, I feel like I should go ahead and book the trip now because I got confirmation earlier that I got a sitter and the price is pricing. Like the price is pricing, y'all. I could find a hotel later. But yeah. I'm trying to get Portia time to tell me where I should go eat. But you know what? If I stop the live and you still want to comment, the video is going to... Oh, thank you. I just got them done today. My toes were already this color. And I was just like, self-care. I'm going to get a fill-in. And I just got this color. And then I got my brows waxed. I'm trying to stay on my maintenance so I can, you know, not look like how I'm feeling on days when I'm not having a good day. Because sometimes feeling good and looking good go hand in hand. So, yeah. I don't know. But yeah, I don't know. Now I got something to look forward to. I'm like, okay, I'm about to book that. All right. Well, I don't think, okay, Portia, if you still here and I'm not here and I'm not live anymore, just drop it in the comment section because I do want to know your recommendations because you are in Chicago or from Chicago. All right, y'all. Good night. Have a wonderful weekend. Happy Easter for those of you who celebrate Easter, Resurrection Sunday. Jesus saves lives. He loves you. I love you guys. And I will talk to y'all soon. Okay. Bye. Good night.